I'm so tired of natural hair. Because why do I have to do this every night? Why do I...
Why is it that black women no longer want to wear their natural hair? Is today's topic of discussion. It is not meant to shame anybody into liking their own natural hair, but instead just meant to help us all understand what is actually going on. The number one reason I keep hearing is that it's too much to deal with. Who really has the time for all of that?
Being a black girl is actually such a scam sometimes. Like, you mean to tell me it's either I spend the next 3 days braiding my own hair, or I pay somebody's rent for them to do it for me?
I do understand this girl's frustrations, to be honest, and the fact that she actually started at the last point. She's just talking about braiding and putting your hair away and not the full wash day, not the whole detangling process, just shows you that there's a lot to deal with. And I'm aware some people feel like whenever you say that, it makes it seem as though you hate your hair, and that's not the case at all. It can take a while to develop a routine that is easy and manageable consistently.
What you mean why it look like that? I did a wash and go. I'm finna do a twist out tomorrow. I'm finna cut all shit off, ain't it? I know it. Cause why you ain't tell me I look like a dirty Q-tip? Didn't nobody tell me I ain't know it was gonna be like this. This is not for the week. Perm me up, please.
Of course, our maintenance is going to be frustrating if we keep trying to do these things that our natural hair isn't naturally supposed to be doing so frequently. Our edges weren't meant to lay 24/7. There's going to be frizz when we do our hair, and sometimes it's not even going to slick down.
As a black woman, I really find it sad that I'm even saying this, but I always wear wigs all the time, and there's a main reason for it, and I'm about to expose it right here, right now. I have always gotten treated different when I'm wearing my wig compared to when I wear my natural hair, and I have tested this out in places like Ireland and the UK, where I would wear a wig and then I'd wear my natural hair, and a lot of employees or people would not even notice I was the same person, yet I would get treated very differently. I also feel like I experienced a lot more privilege when I wore my wigs out, and though a lot of people will feel like, oh, who cares, da da da, sometimes when you feel like you get treated a lot more kinder when your hair is done a certain way, or when your lashes are done a certain way, or where you're wearing certain clothes, to make sure your day goes a little more smoother, you'll fit into society's norms just to make sure, you know, you feel a little better about your day. Because sometimes when the other day you were being treated a lot better because your wig was out, and now you've got your natural hair out and you're being treated very like rudely, and people are giving you looks and it's just not nice, you really wish that you didn't have your hair out. And that's something I battle every single day. And to combat this, for the next week at least, I'm not going to wear makeup, I'm not going to wear lashes, and my natural hair is going to be out. I'm going to film content with my natural hair. Though it's very out of my comfort zone, it's something I feel like I need to do as a black woman, because I refuse to allow myself to feel insecure about my natural beauty and my natural hair and the whole essence of me that is melanin.
Why I shaved my afro after 8 years natural? First of all, a massive weight has been lifted off my shoulders since I shaved my head. It is no secret that society puts this insane pressure on black women to have the perfect hair at all times. Whether that be the perfect afro, the perfect natural hair, the perfect relaxed hair, perfect press blowout, perfect melted lace frontal. Basically, hair is everything. Like many other black women and girls, I received my first relaxer to chemically straighten my hair at a very young age. So for most of my youth and teen years, I had no idea what my natural texture even looked like. And also, like many other black women and girls, I too had to embark upon the relaxed to transitioning to big chop and naturalista journey that we all have to trek through. And for 8 years straight, I proudly rocked my natural fro. Going natural was the greatest decision I had ever made in my life. But eventually I just got tired. I'm gonna shave my head, I'm gonna shave my head, I'm gonna shave my head. What a lot of people don't realize about natural hair is that it requires so much maintenance. Hours and hours and hours and hours of detangling and stretching and braiding. I couldn't do it anymore. It literally got to the point where I wouldn't style my hair for weeks or months at a time, where I would just tie it up in a scarf every day. So finally, I couldn't do it anymore. I said, fuck it. I want freedom. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what I look like. I want freedom from my hair. And so here we are, babes.
I feel like it's a little bit unfair for anyone to call out every black woman that doesn't wear their natural hair and say, oh, it's because you hate yourself, nothing else. Society unfortunately has shown us that our hair must be done a certain way in order to be accepted. And this is expected of us from work, school, even partners. And the expected styles most of the times are never really what our natural hair naturally looks like. And when I say expected of us, I don't mean like it's been made into a law. It's just a constant stares. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you talking to me like that all of a sudden? And to escape this kind of treatment, some black women that want to be with black men end up wearing straight wigs most of the time. And I know you've all seen the TikToks of black men being like, oh, I love a black woman in her natural hair. But I am going to focus more on what you do and not what you say. A lot of people say that, but do they really mean it? Maybe some do, but even then, you are not referring to falsy hair. But the thing is, most Africans have falsy hair. So you're telling me you love natural hair, just not this type of natural hair.
I went to Paris and I was wearing my kinky curly wig. Black men literally ignored my entire presence. I was walking around with my 2 other cousins. This group of 3 boys ignored me and talked to my 2 cousins. I was like, the math is not mathing. And I was thinking to myself, am I just, a Paris 2 out of 10? Maybe I could have dressed better. Then I noticed the men who were paying attention to me were Arab and Latino men and Italians. But let me know your experiences. Does different hair attract different groups of men?
And unfortunately, this sort of hatred doesn't only come from the opposite sex. Sometimes it's females too. Your own people.
Okay, so it's dark, but I'm really heated right now. And it's just like, damn. Like, I can't even be black at a fucking HBCU. So, I'm trying to go to my boyfriend's room real quick, right? And so when I go to my boyfriend's room, I just see these 2 girls that are in this little common area space looking at me outside the window, and they just staring at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? So they keep staring at me so fucking hard that to the point that they're bringing everybody, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you staring at me? And so since he's staring at me, right, I go in, I do what I gotta do, and I come out. But when I'm passing by them, when I'm trying to leave, they said, don't stare, look at my friend, ho. I'm like, bitch, what? Hold on, you're not talking to me. I go back, I'm like, excuse me, are you talking to me? She was like, oh, was you looking? No, I wasn't looking, I was minding my business until you said something. And I was like, why did you do that? And she was like, oh, because I'm not gonna lie, I thought you was a crackhead. And I was like, why? Because of my hair? And she was like, yeah, I can't wear my hair at 12 a.m. like this onto my boyfriend's room. Okay, this school is so fucking mean.
This young lady just learned a lesson of don't come out the house looking any type of way, right?
You are so beautiful, but don't piss me off. These stipulations are only put on black women. Only put on black women. And in this situation, to be more specific, black women with 4C hair. If anybody with a looser curl pattern or with wavy hair or with straight hair did that same thing, nobody would bat an eye. Having that mindset feeds texturism, respectability politics, and anti-blackness. It's more hurtful when it comes from people in our own community because y'all know that there is nothing that any of us could ever do to be respected more by people who don't like us. And not even just people on the outside that don't like us, but people on the inside that don't like different people within the black community. Because whether her hair was slicked back or not, it's not going to change the fact that what she experienced was texturism. Let's not do that.
And unfortunately, there's more to this than we've already covered. Braiders. Thick hair will cost you more. And straightened hair will have to be straightened with heat. We might even ask you to relax your hair.
Apparently, you have to relax your hair before making this hairstyle, unless you don't want it to come out neat, smart, or kiki like a baby girl. I used the Mega Growth hair relaxer and it did a good job. I chose the local market to make this hair because it's a local hairstyle, so why not?
And if you're wondering if there's any instance where falsy hair is accepted in its natural state, I think there seems to be one, and that is that it's actually long. Which brings us to our next reason, protective styling / wigs. And there's a lot of reasons why people choose to wear protective styles, and it's not always just because somebody hates their hair, and they could have cornrows underneath and they're putting their hair away just to make sure they don't manipulate it as much. Or they could have some medical issues concerning their hair and they're choosing to wear wigs until they have that sorted out. Another reason could just be that somebody does not like their hair, regardless of how accommodating their environment is. It could also be that some people choose to wear wigs because they just like the variety and they like having options to choose between different hairstyles. There could be some reasons that I've missed, and I would like to hear about that in the comment section below. If you agree or disagree, I would like to hear that too. So let me know.